Liam Neeson's life has been filled with unrivaled success, as well as unthinkable hardship. But through it all, it seems his greatest source of joy might just be his two sons, Michael and Daniel. Both successful young men, these days they're looking like Hollywood heartthrobs in their own right.
I think maybe she knew, but she wasn't destined to be on this earth for a long period of time.
On March 18, 2009, the Neeson brothers suffered the unthinkable. Daniel was just 12 and Michael was 13 when their mom, Tony Award-winning actress Natasha Richardson, died in a freak accident. Richardson had fallen during a ski lesson at a Canadian ski resort. The CBC reports that she wasn't wearing a helmet at the time, but seemed fine at first. An hour after returning to her room, Richardson experienced a headache and was rushed to the hospital. But it was too late. The 45-year-old had suffered blunt force trauma. Recalling that tragic day, Liam Neeson told 60 Minutes that he knew all hope of recovery was lost when he saw his wife's X-ray. He remembered, "You didn't need to be a rocket scientist to see what was happening. The brain squashed up against the side of the skull. I was told she was brain dead." Richardson was later transported to Manhattan's Lenox Hill Hospital, where she was visited by her mother and children before being taken off of life support. Not only was the boys' final memory of their mother a heartbreaking one, but as family coach Jill Brooke noted in a HuffPost op-ed, "There's no replacing mommy, which is why my heart aches for Natasha Richardson's two young sons. Losing a parent makes you an adult overnight, someone who realizes how fleeting and random life can be." In a truly touching tribute to his late mother, oldest son Michael changed his last name from Neeson to Richardson in 2018. Natasha's mother, actress Vanessa Redgrave, was the one who confirmed the news with the Daily Mail that October, telling the outlet, "He's taken officially the name of his mother. He's Michael Richardson, not Michael Neeson." Redgrave also made sure to dispel rumors that her grandson, an aspiring actor, had changed his name for another more career-oriented reason. She explained, "That wasn't because he wanted to avoid his father's fame, which is enormous. He wanted to hold his mother close to him because she was a remarkable actress, absolutely remarkable."
This is where I want to be, this is where I want to go.
As Michael struggled to come to terms with his mother's passing, he began to spend an increasing amount of time immersed in the New York party scene. He admitted to Belfast Telegraph, "I was putting socializing with my friends as my top priority. Rock bottom was when I chose to miss classes to meet up with them, as well as not realizing that family and work come first." In the summer of 2014, he finally acknowledged that he needed to make a change. He said, "After a while, I thought, what am I doing? This is instant gratification. There's no substance to your conversation." So he checked into a so-called wilderness therapy camp in Utah and began his recovery. But he's adamant that it wasn't a typical rehab stint. He added, "Of course, other articles bigged it up as a sob story about a celebrity child who goes to rehab, which really wasn't the case. What I wanted to address was a lack of motivation and direction in my life." Following his time in nature, which included camping and cooking outdoors, Michael moved to London. According to Hello Magazine, he continued his wellness journey across the pond by moving in with Topes Calland, who the Evening Standard called a, quote, "super mentor who rescues the children of the rich and famous." Following his recovery, Michael found himself living in London and falling in love with fashion. He then turned his passion into a career, and when he was just 19, he opened his very own couture-led gallery in London's posh Soho neighborhood. His goal was to launch his career as a fashion curator and showcase clothing made by fashion school grads from Central St. Martin's in collaboration with Savile Row tailors. Michael himself had interned on London's famed Savile Row, crafting bespoke suits, then worked alongside Phoebe Philo at the Celine Fashion House. It was this background in the industry that inspired the gallery, but Michael's late mother also played a key role. He told the outlet, "Fashion was something I never went after before, but it's so important, as it shows who you are. One thing my mom taught me was to dress how you feel, dress how you want." She loved dressing up for every occasion and sometimes wore some pretty crazy stuff.
We ought to find a way to take advantage of that.
Like his older brother, Daniel also felt drawn to the world of fashion from a young age. While Michael tried his hand at curation, his younger bro took things one step further as a budding designer. In 2017, while studying theater and digital media at Tulane University, he launched his own brand called Pine Outfitters. The eco-friendly clothing line features an outdoorsy range of gender-neutral t-shirts, beanies, baseball caps, and more. And according to W Magazine, it's best described as a mix of Patagonia, and Urban Outfitters. The brand also plants one tree for every product sold. While speaking with WWD around the time of the launch, Daniel addressed the critics and justified his stake in the fashion industry, saying, "Everybody's like, oh, another celebrity's son doing a fashion line or becoming an actor and stuff like that. For me, it came naturally." As for Daniel's biggest fan, it's always been his proud pop. He added, "My father's been really supportive along the way. Whatever endeavor I decide, he's been on my back helping me, not just emotionally, but supporting what I do." Back in 2017, the trio behind Pine Outfitters tried taking the electronic music world by storm. Calling themselves Recess Club, Daniel and his two best friends Billy Renza and Adam Millman started DJing in the hopes of striking it big. On Instagram, the musicians have described themselves as New York City-based with, quote, "worldwide dreams." Beginning in 2017, they showcased themselves playing college shows at Tulane University and the University of Scranton before landing a number of gigs at New York City's Rumpus Room. A European trip followed, although it's unclear if they actually played any gigs. By November 2017, Recess Club teased its mere handful of fans, writing, "2018 is going to be a huge year for us, New York City." But despite their lofty goals, Recess Club posted for the last time in January 2018, seemingly ending their music career almost as soon as they got it going. Not long after he launched his gallery, Michael put his fashion aspirations on hold to set his sights on the family business, acting. In 2015, Deadline confirmed that Michael would not only be following in his parents' footsteps, but that his debut role would be one his father had played nearly 20 years earlier, Irish revolutionary Michael Collins in The Rising, the same historical figure Neeson portrayed in 1996's Michael Collins. Prior to the announcement, Michael revealed in an interview with the Ireland Independent that there was one person who wasn't in love with the idea of him becoming an actor: his dad.
Being an actor is all about rejection.
Michael told the outlet, "Dad was like, please become a carpenter or something. On my mom's side, I was encouraged to do whatever I wanted. I've done a couple of drama courses. My inner actor is in there somewhere. It's lingering in the shadows." After ignoring warnings from his father to stay away from Hollywood, Michael officially fell victim to the acting bug. What's more, proud dad Liam now seems to be totally on board with his son's career choice.
It was kind of a no-brainer, as regards acting with him. It was just having a regular conversation with your boy.
Since snagging his first major role in The Rising, Michael has landed a handful of other parts, including 2 films in which he stars opposite his famous father. While speaking about their surprise collaboration in crime drama Cold Pursuit, Neeson said via Business Insider that while his connection got the ball rolling, his son landed the gig for himself. He said, "I had suggested Michael early on to Hans Petter Moland, our director, and Michael Schamberg, our producer, and then I just stayed away. Michael read for the part and he got it. I was pleased for him too."
I didn't want to just jump in and do it as like a solid for Liam, you know what I mean? I really wanted to audition for it.
But it's not just the big screen that interests Michael. He's also got his eye on Broadway. In October 2019, Playbill revealed that Michael had made his stage debut in the world premiere of Nothing Gold Can Stay, a new off-Broadway play written by Chad Beckham, which was described as a, quote, opioid-era love story. Take one look at Daniel's Instagram feed and you'll instantly see he's in a committed relationship and is very happy to post about it. While not much is known about his girlfriend Natalie Ackerman, careful examination of Daniel's page revealed a number of interesting facts. For one, Ackerman appears to be a fellow Tulane University alum, as well as a college football fan, Stranger Things lover, and Daniel's preferred travel partner. The pair have jetted around the United States and Europe together, posting adorable snaps from a wide array of destinations, from Prague to Saint-Tropez to Daniel's native Belfast. In July 2018, the couple celebrated their 1-year anniversary, with Daniel writing, "Best business I ever started, 1 year strong with my bubs." It may have started as a side hustle in college, but Daniel's foray into eco-friendly fashion is no fleeting hobby. Speaking about Pine Outfitters' mission to help the planet, Daniel told the New York Post in 2019, "I don't want this business to be about my money. I think it's about building a community and giving back. Part of that has involved planting trees and recycling bottles, over 2,000 and 14,000 respectively as of March 2020, as well as teaming up with innovative brands to show the world what sustainable fashion can look like. In November 2019, Pine Outfitters unveiled a collab with Reprieve, a brand that creates recycled fiber which can then be used in everything from apparel to homeware. The capsule collection featured 3 long-sleeved shirts made from 16 recycled water bottles each, which Daniel proudly boasted about on Instagram. As the young designer told the New York Post, his fascination with sustainability started in the 5th grade, when he first learned about climate change. He said, "It really struck me, and I've always been in tune with the environmental crisis. I think it's great that I caught the bug when I was young to do something different than acting." It turned out that was also something his late mother fully encouraged. She once told him, "Don't ever feel like you have to be forced down a tunnel to fit in. Do what you want to do, but do it to your best and be generous with it." Michael Richardson has been hustling hard to achieve his acting dreams, and his dedication appears to be paying off. In February 2020, Variety confirmed that IFC Films had acquired the U.S. rights to a comedy starring Michael alongside his famous dad. Thanks to the deal, the movie, which is titled Made in Italy, was guaranteed a traditional theatrical release in the States in the summer of 2020. The film tells the story of a bohemian artist, played by Liam, and his estranged son, played by Michael, who travel from London to Tuscany to sell a home the artist inherited from his late wife. Unfortunately, they find it in utter disrepair and a comedic renovations fiasco ensues. And yes, Liam Neeson also does comedy.
Yes, Liam Neeson, he's a serious guy.
As of March 2020, Michael's IMDb page also had 2 other impressive works listed in post-production, a starring gig in the romance Entrée d'Artiste, and a recurring role in the TV series Big Dogs. It also announced his casting in the Rising 1916, slated for a future release. The Neeson men have always shared a loving, unbreakable bond, which seems to be made all the stronger by their favorite sport, hockey. Liam, Michael, and Daniel are all regular fixtures at New York City's Madison Square Garden during hockey season and have been repeatedly photographed cheering on various teams over the years. In 2016, for example, the trio was snapped watching a game between the New York Islanders and Boston Bruins. And in 2018, Liam and Daniel were on hand to watch the Chicago Blackhawks take on the New York Rangers. Meanwhile, the 3 reunited in the front row a year later, excitedly cheering on the Rangers as they played the Islanders. But they don't only follow hockey. It seems any major sporting event is reason enough for the Neesons to spend some quality time together. In 2014, cameras caught Liam and Daniel attending a basketball game between the New York Knicks and Florida's Miami Heat. We love some of that father-son bonding time, especially with these guys.
I'm a very proud parent.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.